At the start of the Lord's Test match, the conversation around Ben Stokes was whether he is fit to carry on. There were injury concerns. There were question marks over his batting. Yes, he was coming good as a bowler, but there was so much scrutiny that Ben Stokes was facing, especially as a batter. But did he have the near perfect game or not in Lords when the back was against the wall for the English captain? If you ask me, yes, he did. We're going to be looking at what exactly is it that he did over the course of the last 5 days, things that you probably missed out on, and why I say that Ben Stokes gave a befitting reply to all his critics. Let's take a look at what exactly is it that Ben Stokes did on the final day of the Lord's Test match. These are two spells that are going to be talked about as the series goes along the way. 9.2 over spell at the beginning. Total, he bowled 19.2 overs, and that was spread across just two spells for Ben Stokes. A 9.2 over spell to begin with, which had the wicket of a set KL Rahul. Now, I want to emphasize a bit on this wicket because remember, he wasn't bowling from the end, which takes the ball. He was bowling from the end, which takes the ball away from the right-hander. But what does Ben Stokes do? He does something even more difficult on that slope that Lords has to present. He manages to get the ball into the right-hander, and that's credit to the bowler. You don't necessarily always produce a delivery like that, especially at the Lord's cricket ground when you're bowling from that slope that takes the ball away from the right-hander. In that 9.2 over spell, Ben Stokes showed us that not only is he fit, but he wanted to win this game. Then he comes in with another spell, and this time around he takes the wicket of a Jasprit Bumrah who'd faced in excess of 50 deliveries. So two very crucial spells for Ben Stokes. He was asked about his own spell. He said he's seen a lot of dark times, but and of course that he meant as a cricketer. But to be in that zone, to be coming up with these spells, Ben Stokes said that this was indeed a dark time for him, and kudos to him for what he did, because it was exemplary, if you ask me, what Ben Stokes did over these two spells. A 9.2 over spell to begin with, followed up with a 10 over spell. But this is not what we saw from Ben Stokes in the entire match. As the match wore along, right from day one, there was something about Ben Stokes almost happening every day, and he had a say in the proceedings. So but that was just day 5. Let's just go back a bit and look at his contributions in this particular match. This is the second innings of the match, and what does he do? He picks up the wicket of KL Rahul and beg your pardon, he picks up the wicket of Karun Nair, who's batting on 40, who's looking good as we saw, but comes up with that delivery that dismisses him, and an absolute snorter to Nitish Kumar Reddy. If you see, it was pitching exactly in the good length area, but then it just shoots up. That just tells you that the bowler had given it his all to get that extra bit of bounce. And not only was that one of the vital contributions, but that direct hit that completely changed the match on its head out of nowhere. In fact, takes the turn and then effects that direct hit that completely swung the momentum in. If not swing the momentum, definitely altered the way the Indian first innings was going. Let's talk about the first innings of the match as well. Shaky to begin with, but still ends up being resilient. Faces 110 balls, 44 runs for him in the second innings. And when it comes in the first innings, when you talk about his contributions in the third innings, England 192, of which 17% of the runs came from the bat of the English batter. You could argue that he wasn't looking pretty, he looked ugly at times. He was finding it difficult to be there in the middle, but guess what, when you're contributing 17% of the runs, when you're taking wickets as well, look at the stage that he came into walk at. He came into bat when England were reeling at 87 for 4 to go ahead and not just do that. Remember, as the captain of the side, you're always thinking of so many other things. The batter to come, the bowling changes. What point is it that I need a certain bowler? Do I need to switch ends like a Jofra Archer, for that matter, was struggling? So he realized, because Jofra Archer was struggling to bowl at day 4, he was too full and he was bowling from the pavilion end at that time, and that things weren't working. But what does he do the last day? He changes the end for for him and brings him from the nursery. And so much over there that Ben Stokes was looking at, and rightly so. He was adjudged the man of the match as well, and people were talking about his contributions. Look at that 33 that he scored. As I just pointed out, the winning margin was 22. So Ben Stokes coming in with performances, something every day, in fact, about Ben Stokes was he thought that ultimately helped England win, beat the 44 runs or the 33 runs, beat that run out as it just spoke about, or at the very start, as I had said, that spell of Ben Stokes will possibly be talked about for a long time to come, because seldom do you see a bowler, that to the captain himself, being pushed to the limit, or pushing himself to the limit in such a way. Of course, there was so much pressure on the English captain as well. It's not easy being the English captain. The whole philosophy of baseball is under scrutiny as well. His own form is under scrutiny, but look what he's done over the course of the last 5 days. Not only did he have the near perfect game for himself as a player, as a captain, but he's now given a crucial advantage to his team as well. We hope you liked this one, and in case you did, give this one a like and subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't done so already.